Welcome to the channel Reflections of Time.
In this video, we begin a deep journey through the history of one of the world's oldest and most influential civilizations, Egypt. From the grand pyramids of the ancient world to the foundations of the modern state, this story stretches across thousands of years. It is a journey shaped by the life-giving waters of the Nile River. Egypt's legacy is not only written in stone, but also in belief systems, scientific achievements, architectural wonders, and political innovations that have left their mark on world history. Do not forget to subscribe to the channel and like the video. Now, let us step into the shadows of the Nile and follow the traces of this remarkable civilization.
The Nile River and the birth of civilization.
The foundation of Egyptian civilization is the Nile River. This river, the longest in Africa, flooded each year and left behind fertile soil, making life in the desert possible. This cycle of renewal sustained agriculture and supported the rise of permanent settlements. Nearly 7,000 years ago, the first villages and towns began to appear along the Nile Valley. Over time, these settlements grew into two distinct regions known as Upper Egypt in the south and Lower Egypt in the north, near the Nile Delta. For centuries, these two regions existed separately. But eventually, a ruler from Upper Egypt named Menes unified the land, forming one centralized kingdom. This unification marked the beginning of Egypt's dynastic history and positioned the Nile as both a geographic and cultural lifeline of the nation.
Pharaohs and the divine order.
In Egypt, kingship was not just a political role. The pharaoh was considered a divine being, a living god on earth, chosen to uphold order and balance. This belief gave the ruler both spiritual and administrative authority. The Egyptians believed in a complex system of gods. Ra, the sun god; Osiris, the god of the underworld; Isis, the goddess of motherhood and magic; Horus, the god of the sky. Each deity played a vital role in the natural world and human affairs. Pharaohs were expected to join the gods after death. Their burial was not just a ritual, it was preparation for eternal life. Tombs were built not as simple graves, but as sacred spaces filled with symbols, offerings, and hidden passages. This religious worldview fueled one of the most advanced architectural traditions in the ancient world.
Pyramids and monumental architecture.
When we speak of Egypt, the pyramids immediately come to mind. The Great Pyramids of Giza, Khufu, Khafre, and Menkaure stand as timeless symbols of power, belief, and ingenuity. These pyramids were royal tombs, built not only to protect the pharaoh's body, but to guide the soul into the afterlife. Their construction involved precise engineering, astronomical alignments, and enormous human effort. Even today, the exact techniques used to build the pyramids remain a subject of debate. What we do know is that they reflect a high level of organization, mathematics, and craftsmanship. Beyond pyramids, temples, statues, and obelisks also tell the story of Egypt's architectural legacy. The Luxor Temple, the Karnak Complex, the Temple of Abu Simbel, all served as places of worship, but also as symbols of state power and divine connection.
Science, writing, and daily life.
Ancient Egypt stood out not only for its religion and architecture, but also for its knowledge and daily practices. The Egyptians observed the movements of the sun and stars to measure time and organize agricultural calendars. They made important advancements in mathematics, especially in geometry, which they used in both land measurement and construction. They also practiced medicine at a sophisticated level. The mummification process alone proves their deep understanding of human anatomy. They used natural remedies for wounds, treated broken bones, and even performed basic dental procedures. The Egyptian writing system is known as hieroglyphs. These picture-like symbols were used to record both sacred and administrative texts. Over time, hieroglyphs evolved into simpler scripts such as Demotic and eventually Coptic writing. Egyptian society was strictly hierarchical. At the top was the pharaoh, followed by priests, military leaders, artisans, and farmers. However, women in Egypt held more rights than in many other ancient civilizations. They could own property, initiate divorce, and run businesses.
From the Old Kingdom to the New Kingdom.
Egyptian history is divided into several major periods, each marked by changes in politics, art, and society. The three main eras are the Old Kingdom, the Middle Kingdom, and the New Kingdom. The Old Kingdom was the age of pyramid building and strong centralized rule. Pharaohs were seen as absolute divine rulers. But over time, economic problems and the rise of powerful regional governors weakened the state. The Middle Kingdom brought a period of reunification. Art, literature, and administration flourished again. But this stability was eventually broken by internal unrest and external threats. The New Kingdom was Egypt's most powerful and expansive era. Egypt became a military power, launching campaigns into Nubia and the Levant. Great pharaohs like Thutmose III, Ramses II, and Hatshepsut during this time.
Hatshepsut and female power.
Hatshepsut was one of the few women to rule as pharaoh. To be accepted, she wore male clothing and even a ceremonial beard, but her leadership was defined by peace and prosperity, not war. During her reign, Egypt saw major construction projects and international trade missions. The famous temple at Deir el-Bahari stands as a testament to her ambition and influence. Her legacy shows that ancient Egypt, unlike many other ancient cultures, allowed women to achieve high political status under the right conditions.
Ramses II and the Battle of Kadesh.
Ramses II, often called Ramses the Great, ruled for more than 60 years. He is known for building monuments, expanding Egypt's influence, and signing one of history's earliest known peace treaties. The Battle of Kadesh, fought against the Hittites, was one of the most significant military events of the ancient world. Though both sides claimed victory, the resulting peace treaty is seen as a diplomatic breakthrough. Ramses also commissioned the temple at Abu Simbel, carved directly into a cliff. It remains one of the most iconic structures in all of Egypt.
Decline and foreign rule.
After the New Kingdom, Egypt entered a long period of decline. Foreign invasions, internal unrest, and economic instability weakened the country's power. The Sea Peoples and other outside forces disrupted trade and security. In the centuries that followed, Egypt came under the rule of Libyans, Nubians, Persians, Macedonians, and finally the Romans. When Alexander the Great conquered Egypt, he established the Ptolemaic dynasty, which blended Greek and Egyptian traditions. During this time, Egypt remained culturally unique, even as it changed politically. Cleopatra, the last ruler of this dynasty, is remembered for her intelligence and her role in Roman politics. After her death, Egypt became a province of the Roman Empire.
The arrival of Islam.
In the 7th century, Islamic armies entered Egypt, bringing a major cultural and religious transformation. The region became part of several Islamic empires, including the Umayyads, the Abbasids, and the Fatimids. Cairo emerged as a center of learning, religion, and politics. Institutions like Al-Azhar University were established, making Egypt a leading hub of scholarship and education. Throughout the Middle Ages, Egypt retained its strategic importance. It played a key role in resisting the Crusades and was ruled by dynasties like the Ayyubids and the Mamluks.
Ottoman rule and modernization.
In the 16th century, Egypt was conquered by the Ottoman Empire. It became a province governed by local leaders under Ottoman authority. In the 19th century, Muhammad Ali Pasha initiated a period of modernization. Reforms in the military, agriculture, industry, and education laid the foundation for a more modern Egypt. However, These developments also attracted European interest and control. The construction of the Suez Canal made Egypt a key player in global trade, but also increased British influence. Eventually, Egypt fell under British occupation and remained under colonial control for decades.
Independence and the modern era.
In the mid-20th century, Egypt experienced a wave of nationalist movements. Under the leadership of Gamal Abdel Nasser, Egypt declared itself a republic and sought to end foreign domination. The country became a symbol of Arab nationalism. It gained regional influence, but also faced internal challenges. Conflicts with Israel, economic struggles, and political unrest shaped the decades that followed. Today, Egypt is one of the most prominent nations in the Middle East. Its economy is supported in part by tourism, driven by the appeal of its ancient monuments, historic cities, and the eternal Nile.
Conclusion.
Egypt is not just the land of pyramids and pharaohs. It is a civilization that has endured for thousands of years, constantly transforming, yet never losing its cultural essence. From ancient temples to modern cities, Egypt continues to reflect the legacy of a people who lived with the rhythm of the Nile, believed in the eternity of the soul, and built a world that still inspires awe. To understand Egypt is to understand the resilience of human history, and to preserve history is to preserve our shared identity. If you enjoyed this journey through time, do not forget to subscribe, like the video, and leave a comment. We will meet again in the next episode.